Another thing, it's weird that is starting to sound perfectly reasonable, and I'm not sure it should, as we go into the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The ref conspiracy theory. Because I do not believe for a second that there's a ref conspiracy theory, that anybody's trying to, like, that they met at the NFL offices and are like, you know what? Forget those teams in New York and Los Angeles. We're going to make sure the team from Kansas City has all the help it can get from the refs.
Yeah.
Like, but then you watch them play, and part of it is maybe because Patrick Mahomes works the refs so well. Like, you're like, it kind of feels that way. But, like, I was thinking about this in terms of college football. Like, are there any college football conspiracy theories that you'd believe?
That I believe?
Or that you, at least thinking back on, maybe there's something to it. The one weird one, and we were talking about in the press box in the national championship game. Ohio State finally drew a holding call. Ohio State's defense finally drew a holding call on the opposing offense for the first time since September. Like, how in the world does that happen? Now, I don't believe there's any conspiracy there because
like when you say,
how would that help the Big Ten?
Is there a conspiracy theory that you believe? What is the theory then?
I read a funny one. There was a Reddit thread about 2 years ago on college football conspiracy theories.
Okay.
That Coach O's real accent is just a posh English accent.
We'll do it.
He sounds like he's from Derbyshire.
That would be kind of funny. Stevie Wonder's not actually blind. I don't know if you've gone down that rabbit hole.
I have gone down that rabbit hole, yes.
Yeah, he saw something falling and he grabbed it or something. Like, if people saw it happen. I don't know. Maybe it's just intuition. So here's the thing. There are no conspiracy theories that I do not believe.
Oh, all of them. Okay.
Was that what I said?
There are no conspiracy theories that I do not believe. You believe them all, is what you're saying.
There are no conspiracy theories that I believe in college football.
Very different.
And what I think has actually happened is that anytime anything is a crazy occurrence or there's something that happens that's abnormal or statistically improbable, that's where people go now. And I don't know if it's the political world that we're in right now or if everybody always feels like there's some Illuminati-type figurehead like pulling the strings on everything.
Greg Sankey.
You want to know what the thing is? That's a really weird stat. Like, it's a bizarre stat to think that Ohio State can have 4 or 5 defensive linemen on their team who are going to be playing in the NFL for the next 10 years who couldn't draw a single holding penalty from September to the national title game is an absurd stat. But instead of just acknowledging that it's weird and that it's unlucky.
It wouldn't make any sense as a conspiracy, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we have to make it a bigger thing than it is because people are just so prone to wanting to believe there's some larger figure in the background that's just controlling the world.
Well, we saw it with Miami, the Miami Virginia Tech game, and that's a Friday night game. Everybody was watching, and everybody's like, "Oh, the ACC just wants Miami to get in the playoff and make the national title game."
People actually believe that, Andy.
Oh, they did,
100%.
Like there will be somebody in the chat right now who's going, "You guys don't actually believe that was called fairly, do you?"
But that conspiracy directly conflicts with the other one, which is if the ACC is in the bag for Miami because they want their biggest brands to bolster their conference, then why would you screw Ohio State for 8 weeks?
Right, why would the Big Ten do
Ohio
that?
State is their cash cow.
Yeah.
So, which one is it? So, I mean, I don't know, what people...
Alabama fans for years thought the SEC was out to get them. For years. Ari, we owe a huge thank you to Xfinity for bringing us to New Orleans to pregame before the biggest game of the season. When we're streaming shows live, having Xfinity's 99.9% network reliability is an absolute godsend. It makes sure we get our show to you. It makes sure you can watch our show. It makes sure you can watch your favorite shows on TV, or maybe you're playing Madden or you're playing the college football video game where you might actually run into Ari as your opponent.
I'm telling you, man, nobody wants the smoke. Nobody.
I don't think you're that good.
I'm excellent.
You talk a big game.
I'm incredible.
You can count on fast speeds and reliability, whether you're playing Ari or somebody, who's better than Ari, or whether you're streaming your favorite show in the house or if you're at the game. With Wi-Fi PowerBoost only from Xfinity Mobile, you get fast speeds up to a gig at home or on the go. Enjoy unmatched value while staying connected to the ones you love with the most reliable network and nationwide 5G. Visit at Xfinity.com for more information.
Doesn't everybody believe that the announcer on the game is against their favorite team?
Absolutely.
And that all the world is against them and it's some sort of crazy... Here's the thing. I said this on the show before, and I'll say it again. I was visiting with an SEC recruiting staffer in his office for a story, and like he got on all fours, like looking underneath the desk because he was concerned that his office was bugged. This is a person who works in the sport,
right?
Who thinks that another SEC, and I'm not going to tell you what year it was or what
another
school
SEC
it was.
school it's the CIA
espionage.
and the KGB and Mossad, like, yeah.
And it's the dumbest thing in the world, and I don't mean to be mean, player personnel people. I'm not saying you're not smart. I think you're very smart. I think you're integral.
Nobody's bugging your office.
No, but I also think that you should be paid more because I think it's interesting that the personnel people in college don't get paid more. That said, what you're doing is extremely followable.
Yeah.
When you offer somebody, when you're interested, when they visit, there is a website out there. Have you heard of it?
On3.
That tracks your every move. So there's nothing that you could say in your office that is not something that a general fan, don't even have to be Connor Stalions. You can just be a regular fan, and you can put together who someone's board is. I used to do it all the time when I was a beat writer.
Get Connor
Here's
Stalions.
Ohio State's 12 top targets.
Ari, we got to get Connor Stalions on the show. I actually want to know what college football conspiracy theories he believes, because I bet he's got a few.
I mean, there's a 900,000 page document of just yeah.
Connor Stalions, if you're watching this, I know
there wasn't.
I know we know some of the same people. Come on the show.
No, I can't pull out my phone right now because we're in a professional studio, but like he did tweet like a long tweet about like preseason rankings and how that they're like poisoning the voting process.
Let us have him on to discuss our way too early top 25.
And it actually, I think that like, I don't know if I'm going to be chastised for this, but like he's a smart individual.
Yeah.
He's not a stupid person.
No.
What he did might have been stupid. Getting caught the way that he did might have been stupid, but like his actual ability that he possesses as a sign stealer / tendency code breaker is pretty remarkable. But he basically, his premise is that if you come into a season with preconceived notions of how good teams are based on roster and all the things that we do, then we reward teams for beating the teams that have preconceived notions early on, and then it's just a series of results, like what happened
How'd that
with
work
the
out
SEC.
for Indiana last year?
But you would have said that about the SEC, and it worked out that the SEC was propped up by fake results all year because
But they also didn't get the teams they wanted into the playoff.
No, that's true, but I think that we found out though that all the quality wins that we were propping up the teams around all year long weren't actually quality. So I think that's what he's saying. Like he's saying that
all right,
we're identifying and assigning quality.
Connor Stalions. I know you've occasionally hit the message boards at the Wolverine. We know you like On3. Come on.
I mean, I don't understand.
Let's go.
What would he have to lose if like we're not going to ask you about the sign stealing thing? Like, what do you have to lose? Just come on.
Yeah. I want to talk
you
preseason
talk to
rankings.
reporters. Like, it's not like it's some weird
I want to
secret.
talk preseason rankings. Let's go.